Welcome to Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. I'll be covering every studio song the band has recorded and every bonus track that I can find. Each week we'll go over a new song from the beginning to where they are currently, and as they keep adding albums, I'll keep adding shows. Let the deep dive party begin.
In the magic garden, some were singing, some were dancing.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. This episode is called Jessie because the song is called Jessie. It is the 9th track on Outsider, the band's 23rd studio album released in June of 2014. And this is a pretty cool track, and we're going to get right into it. Here we go. Okay, so you guys know me. You know I'm not a guitar player. I speculate here and there on how I think guitar works, but I'm just not a guitar player. So you guys would probably know better than I would. But I think that intro, isn't that just played with just the hand on the fretboard? I mean, I would imagine you have to like pick a note to get the tone going, but I think that's just all played with the fret hand. Either way, it sounds really good. I like it. And again, God, Mick is so smooth with his playing. It's really amazing. Love the way that they staged this, you know, introducing each instrument, kind of like, you know, when you're watching a movie or a television show and they introduce each character and let you know who they are in the frameworks of the project. But each layer as it's added is really cool. The keys are really strong on this one, maybe a little bit too loud, again, just for my taste in comparison to the other instruments, but definitely very powerful. Love those swells. It's really nice to hear those back in Uriah Heep sound. It's such a signature thing for bands like these from the days when the Hammond first started in rock and roll. And it's really always just a joy for me to hear that swell come up. Oh, that's some great vibrato from Bernie there. Really like that. There's some really nice music being played behind the vocals here. You know, the bass is not hugely adventurous here, and we don't really need it to be, but it's still doing some interesting things. We've got some good solid drums. Mick is playing a lot of stuff that I just wouldn't even think about behind a vocal like this. You know, it's not very straightforward, even though it feels like it is. And of course, Phil's got some really good stuff going on the keys. There are some nice, just little gentle moves that, you know, they're not really noticeable unless you're actually focusing in on the instrument. I had to listen to that part a couple times to really hear what everyone was doing because it's a lot busier than it sounds. Some really nice layers of backing vocals here. I like that we're just getting accents and not, you know, the whole section. I think that always makes it so much more powerful, you know, when there's just certain parts that are being emphasized. I really think that's a great strategy for songwriting. It makes it more interesting. You get tired of hearing a sound if you hear it too much. And if the whole chorus is, you know, doubled or tripled or whatever, you know, that sound could be a little much after a while. So this is a very, very good choice here. I'm telling you guys, Mick is just unleashed on this album. He is on fire. Really dig this playing from him. He's always been, I talked about on the show before, he's always been an underrated guitarist. And this is the kind of stuff that proves that he really is a very talented player. As fast as he's playing, it feels very controlled. It feels like he really intends to do everything he's doing. He's not just like, I'm just going to go for it and whatever happens, happens. Like, I really feel like he's very specific with every note he plays, and I like that. Interestingly, the backing track over the solo, or under the solo, I should say, with those keyboards, there's something about it that kind of reminds me of Walking in the Shadow of the Blues by Whitesnake, which is a great song. Thinking more of the live version, because that had a simpler tempo to this from Live in the Heart of the City. Really nice, though. I really like that full organ sound. I love what Russell's playing here. He's really just keeping it going, keeping a nice drive. He's not overplaying the fills, very tasteful for the song. These guys are really pros. There's a reason that they're who they are.
The calling of the moon in the darker sky as it burns so brightly there. When the morning came and the flow of life took her power slowly, so let the wild wind blow. There's no way she can stay. Oh, let the wild wind blow and carry her away. Jessie can't sleep, she's in too deep, she just can't keep away. Jessie.
Like, I like that little keyboard fill right there where there was just a little break in the vocals, but I really can't hear what Mick is doing in this section. The organ is really overriding the guitar, which is a shame because, I'm sure that Mick is doing something that's worth hearing. But the bass and the drums are cutting through very nicely. Vocals are cutting through very nicely. It's just, there is a little bit of a battle on this album between guitar and keys. And again, I'm listening through the headphones I'm listening to in my studio, so I'm hearing it a certain way. But I have noticed that is a somewhat consistent thing on this album, at least in certain spots. And I'd like to be able to hear the whole thing. But overall, the sound of this album, the recording is very clean. It sounds very good.
Can't dream in color, black or white. She just sees things her way. Jessie can't sleep, she's in too deep. She just can't keep away. No, Jessie can't dream in color, black or white. She just sees things her way. Oh, Jessie. Oh, Jessie.
And a rare fade out for this album. Haven't had a lot of that. A good song, though. I like that they stepped up the drums a bit there towards the end and kind of, pushed the song along to the fade out. Love what I'm hearing on the keys. There's some great playing that Phil's doing there. Some really nice fill-ins in between the parts, and just very passionate, energetic playing. And, Hammond is not like playing another keyboard. There's so many subtleties with the drawbars and knowing where to set things to get the right sound, being able to change it on the fly, the foot pedals. I mean, there's a lot more going on with a Hammond than any other organ. So you really have to know what you're doing. And he is certainly a master of this instrument, no doubt about that. Good song, nice strong vocal, a real powerful delivery through the entire song. Some cool changes that I definitely liked, and I just wish I could have heard Mick in that one section a little bit more. Apart from then, I kind of think towards the end, I heard a little bit of what he was doing, but the keys obviously were driving this one, so that's fine. That does happen. And I like that I could hear Phil and what he was doing because he was playing some really cool stuff. So that is our Friday show, guys. I hope that you have a fantastic weekend. We'll be back next week to wrap up the last couple of songs on Outsider. There are no other bonus tracks apart from that German version of 1 Minute, which we covered in episode 2 of this season. Just got 2 more songs to go, and we'll be on to Living the Dream, the band's current release. Still can't believe that we've caught up to where the band is now. or close to it. I mean, they've recorded the new album, but it's not out yet. So that'll be coming in time, all in good time. And we've got some other stuff to do before we're done. So you guys have a great weekend. Take some time to do something fun for yourselves, and please take a moment to do something for someone else. So easy to change someone's life with very little effort. So take a minute and do that. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers! Thank you for joining me on this episode of Uriah Heep, the Magician's Podcast. If you have enjoyed this show, please consider going over to Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast outlet, leaving a rating or a review. Be sure to subscribe to make sure that you are notified when new episodes are available. Please be sure to share this podcast with your fellow Uriah Heep enthusiasts and anyone who you think would like Uriah Heep, which should be everyone. And if you are so inclined, please feel free to contribute to the Patreon account. And if you are not a Patreon subscriber, you can also pay through the PayPal link on the website listed in the show links below. I would also like to thank Uriah Heep for their very generous support of the show, and thank you guys for listening. We'll see you in the next episode. Happy days!